Okay, I'm Savannah Majali. I'm a third year student, urban studies major.
How much information do you know about athletes' diet?
Okay, well, I go to the gym about 3 to 4 times a week, so I know well, I guess you could say. I know that you should have, I believe that every body is different, okay, and there's no one specific way for each person or each body. I used to believe that you have to have meats and greens and vegetable, yeah, that is a vegetable, and like fruits and stuff, but I just like find my own thing for my own body, so I don't have a specific like type of diet for my body. I guess it's just different.
Do you know what a diet should consist of?
Yeah, I would say carbs, proteins, fatty acids, fats, not fatty acids. I'm trying to sound scientific. Fats. I would say for me, I would say like balance like those, the unhealthy stuff with the healthy.
Do you know what autoimmune diseases are?
Diseases.
Can you name a few, or as much as you know?
Wait, is a diabetes one?
Yeah. Which diabetes?
Type 1.
Yeah.
My name is Afnan Abbasi. I'm a third year student majoring in media.
So first question, how much information do you know about athletes' diet?
None.
Do you know what a general diet consists of?
I know protein for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Carbs. I know protein, carbs, fat, these things.
Do you know what autoimmune diseases are? Can you name a few?
What disease?
Autoimmune diseases.
Also no clue.
My name is Zina. I'm a third year student, human rights and media.
How much information do you know about athletes' diet?
Well, it depends on the athlete. For instance, I know bodylifters should eat a lot of protein and carbs and healthy fats. I'm not sure about other athletes, but that I know.
Do you know what a diet consists of?
Yes, of course. Protein, carbs, healthy fats, some sugars, and vegetables, fruits and vegetables.
Know what autoimmune diseases are? Can you name a few?
Yes, it's when the body attacks itself. I don't know about the names, and I don't know the kinds. Different.
أنا اسمي أحمد عمري 14 سنة بلعب كاراتيه وكرة قدم.
What do you think a diet consists of?
الحمية الغذائية تتكون من خضار وفواكه وفيتامينات وأشياء بوصف لك إياها مثلا دكتور الحمية أو
Do you think athletes have a specific diet?
عشان لازم يكونوا عضلاتهم فيها وتساعدهم في الرياضة تاعتهم.
Okay, do you have a specific diet?
لا.
أنا حلا القاضي عمري 17 سنة لعبت كاراتيه بمركز كبيرة للكاراتيه اللي 10 سنين بلعب.
What do you think a diet consists of?
هلا بتهيألي إنه لازم تحتوي على جميع عناصر الغذائية اللازمة للإنسان زي البروتينات، الألياف، الدهون، الأملاح وبروتينات وغيرها، بس طبعا الكميات بتفرق من حدا لحدا حسب نظام حياته يعني.
Do you think athletes have a specific diet?
هو شيء طبيعي إنه أكيد بيلزمهم كمية كربوهيدرات أكثر من غيرهم عشان الطاقة يعني لتمارينهم، وكمان بروتين عشان يبني العضل لأنه إذا ما بناكل بروتين ما بنقدر نبني الأشياء اللي بنهدمها بالدرس.
Do you have a specific diet?
يعني هو بشكل عام يعني لازم ادير بالي انه اذا ما باخذ كميه كربوهيدرات كافيه باليوم مش رح اقدر، ما رح يكون في طاقه كافيه العب، ولازم بروتين بعد كل حصه بيكون فيها مجهود عالي، لازم دجاج، لحمه، يعني سمك، اي شيء عشان اعوض، شيء طبيعي.
Yes, I'm a fourth year student and I'm studying economics.
What has this disease taught you?
First of all, to eat healthy stuff and mix between meat, chicken, vegetables, all of the supplements, and drink a lot of water.
How many autoimmune diseases do you know?
Just rheumatism.
I'm gonna be talking about autoimmune diseases very generally, and then she's gonna talk about diets very generally as well. Autoimmune diseases are when the body attacks itself and they fail to recognize self from self from non-self.
The cells they can't recognize it's self or not.
They mistake the self as foreign cells.
And the word auto comes from
self.
That's why.
Because it attacks itself. As an example. Some examples are Crohn's disease, rheumatism, type 1 diabetes, celiac disease, Hashimoto's disease.
So I'm going to be talking about a diet briefly. A diet is what organisms or living beings basically eat. It's what their food consists of. So imagine basically a healthy diet is like a triangle, and at the top you have the lipids, the fats, the sugars, and the salt. Right under it you're going to have the meats and the proteins and so on, and then under it you're going to have the vegetables and the fruits, which is going to be kind of divided into two, the fruits, and then the vegetables. At the bottom, the largest layer, the most amount will be the carbohydrates, which is like bread, rice. So basically in this video, we interviewed random people asking them about what they think a diet, and specifically an athlete's diet, consists of. And we interviewed athletes themselves, and we went to talk to people with autoimmune diseases, specifically people with rheumatism, to see the amount of information generally people have from different groups. So we both don't have rheumatism, but our doctors, that's kind of the closest thing that we can be classified as, because we both have an autoimmune disease, which we kind of don't. Do you know what your autoimmune disease is?
No, I don't have a name.
Yeah, me neither.
So I didn't really have any symptoms. Like I just kind of went blind. That's not really a symptom. And then I went to doctors and they're like, there's a lot of inflammation in your eyes.
And inflammation is a sign of autoimmune disease.
Yeah,
the main thing.
Wherever the inflammation occurs, even though it was in my eyes, like for example in rheumatism, it's usually in the muscles.
In the joints.
In the joints.
So
like I had a lot of inflammation, and I was treated in the States. So they my left eye was like cured really quickly because it didn't have a lot of problems, but then my right eye kind of just like the inflammation kept like getting worse, and then like it would gradually get better, but then it'll get worse again, and this happened like for like a 4-year span. So like autoimmune diseases can be really like chronic or long term.
Yeah, most, if not all autoimmune diseases are chronic illnesses, which means like it's an illness that is like very painful, but not very visible.
Yes. So, and then after 4 years, I was finally stable, but then not really, so it was like, yeah.
So I started noticing a problem at a really young age, probably like 2nd grade, but it really got bad around 4th grade, and they just kept telling me it was growing pain, like I would have constant pain. So I would have constant pain basically in any of my joints, like my fingers, my hips, my elbows, my back, and then it got to the point where it was just like my muscles as well, and that's a common thing. Well, not very common, but that happens with autoimmune diseases, like especially rheumatism. That's why they thought I had rheumatism, because it starts off with the joints and the ligaments, and then it goes on to the muscle, and then it goes on to the organs. But for me, luckily, I was always an athlete. I was always very active, so I was like had muscles. But as I grew, the autoimmune disease kind of also like became more severe, so I kind of had to cut off a lot of sports. Like I used to do soccer and gymnastics. I had to cut that off, and I stayed doing karate until like recently. I also had to stop kind of karate.
I mean, it's taught me a lot, to be honest. Like if I had a chance to choose what happened to me, I wouldn't not choose it. Like I wouldn't go back and be like, oh no, what? I'd let it happen to me again, because it's I've lost more than I've gained, but what I've gained kind of like its quality is way more than what I've lost. And so yeah, like it's given me a lot. It's given me purpose, as cliche as that sounds. So I guess it's just taught me it's just given me purpose, I guess if that's what you could say, but it's taught me, if that counts.
For me, it's not the same thing. I honestly would not if I had the choice, I obviously would not want to take the same path, just because like I've lost a lot of things I enjoy, such as sports, and it just caused a lot of obstacles. And yeah, it made me stronger, and yeah, I learned a lot of things, but I feel like I could have learned and gained strength through different things without having to deal with this. But what I really learned from it was basically like, even if like I learned like scientifically, I learned about chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases, and I became very passionate about it. But other than that, it just kind of taught me not to really, like, when someone's not having it, or they're just like, you see someone like with a disability, you really don't know what is under that disability, because like not everyone, like this is a disability by the way, but not everyone does classify it as a disability, and there's so many other things that I personally don't know about that people are going through. So it just taught me to be more considerate.
With autoimmune disease, I don't know, man, like I feel your pain. That's probably what I tell them. Like there's nothing like, I can't give advice to someone with autoimmune disease, like, because at least for me, like mine was like blindness, you know, so.
Yeah, don't like beat yourself up about it, and if you can't do anything, just like accept it. Try to work on what you have and build on that. Just always don't look at what you don't got, because then like you're never gonna really be satisfied or happy with anything.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of be careful with like how you
talk or approach people.
Yeah, exactly. Be more considerate with like people's situations, because you don't know like what they're going through, or what, like, because as Zaina mentioned before, like autoimmune diseases usually they don't show. So like whatever the person's disabilities, you most likely won't know that they have it, but they'll probably still have it. So
yeah, I kind of would say the same thing. Just be more considerate, be more understanding, be more accepting, try to learn more. So for the diet of an athlete, I would say that it really does matter. The diet does really matter, and it also differs from one person to another, from like their age, their gender, their activity. And so obviously it doesn't matter if you're playing one sport or another, because each sport requires different things. Like for example, bodybuilders, they really depend on the physical shape, their muscles and everything, while for karate it's more of like their flexibility and their ability to like handle things. So yeah, that's a lot. Okay, how do we say bye and how do we say hi?
bye.
Bye. That's it.